So today I'm going to be installing the Mishimoto water jacket neck with the thermostat. I also have one of these hoses that goes onto this from Z1 Motorsports. Boom, right there. And I also have the gasket for the thermostat, and that's the part number if you need it. So yeah, let's get into installing this bad boy. And yes, by the way, I am in Florida and it is hot as shit here, so I'm not too worried about this overcooling my radiator by a couple degrees. Actually, that's a lot better than the opposite. So alright guys, let's get started. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this cover off because we gotta get to the thermostat that's right there. But before we do that, I'm gonna come down here and show you where the bleeder neck is. It's right there. You don't have to take the cover off. I probably will, just so that it doesn't fucking get everywhere. Because obviously, as you see, that hole's not really aligned. So for the sake of not making a mess, I'm gonna take this undershroud off. Not a big deal. So what I use to catch all the liquid is a plastic bin tub thing from Walmart. It's like $3 and comes with a cover. And I basically use it for, I have one for oil that's cold. Obviously this does not hold heat. And one for radiator fluid. And obviously one for transmission and stuff like that. So these are really cheap alternatives to those really expensive ones. And when they go out, you just buy a new one and it's cheap. So yeah, use one of these guys. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna unbolt the entire, there's like 7 or 8 bolts at the bottom. They're just 10 mils. And then the top is right there. It's hard to see, but see this big hose? That's the water jet. And there's 1, 2, 3 bolts, and they're I think 10 mils. And then you see the water hose right there that I'm also going to be replacing. So yep, that's what I'm going to be doing. So all right guys, let's get started. Per our video, I don't know if you guys remember, but last time we replaced the seal in the back of this oil cooler or warmer, whatever. As you can see now, well, you guys can go back and see. I'm going to see if I can put a picture of it. You see how everything is so much cleaner. So while you're down here, double check all your mods that you've done before just to make sure that they're still running good. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, look at that. There's a bag in my exhaust all the way down there. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that. But while you're under the car, remember, it's always a good thing to double check all your stuff and make sure everything's right. That way you don't get any surprises or anything. So, all right, guys, let's, this is a good sign. Let's keep moving forward. So now I'm going to bleed that guy. And it's just, you know, unscrewing it and open up the top so it can all bleed out. And let's go from there. Cool. So this is now bleeding. I just used a regular wrench to pop it out. And open up the top. Just let it bleed out, and then we're gonna go ahead and start on installing the thermostat. I also want to take this time to remind you that if you have dogs or cats or pets or anything around you, do not let them drink this or come near this, and try to keep the splatter to a minimum, because radiator propylene glycol tastes sweet to animals. They will eat it and they will die unless you take them to an ER, and even that is sketchy. So please make sure no animal comes in contact with this. So I got the thermostat out, and it's the old OEM one, and so it looks like on the inside. It's fucking disgusting. It's probably the original one in the car. So here's the gasket. There's nothing wrong with it. I think they RTV'd both sides of it, which I'm not going to do because the factory service manual says not to do that specifically. But anyway, let me show you what this looks like. See if I can turn the light on this. Let's see. There we go. So try to clean up as much as you can. I gotta clean a little bit more on that top side. But yeah, just make sure everything's clean. Put the new one in, and we'll do that first. I'm using a little wire brush to clean it and take all that gunk out. So just rub it with a towel until the rubber gasket comes off. That's the easiest way. And yeah, let's mount the new one. Sorry about this, it's taking a little bit too long because I'm having to use both hands. Anyway, so let me give you a quick tip. If you buy any Z1 hose, it's going to run thicker than OEM. So these clamps are not going to work any longer. So you're going to have to basically go to Home Depot and buy actual good worm clamps, like the one I used right there. That guy's super heavy duty and it's not going to break. Don't buy the AutoZone ones. Those are fucking trash and they don't work well. This guy right here is like 90 cents a pop and they're worth every penny. Anyway, if you have a thicker radiator like I do over here, you're gonna probably run into this issue unless you pull the motor, where putting in this gasket here and putting the two bolts is gonna be a bitch. So finagle with it, like in and out, and try to get it. The way I did it is I ran the two top bolts and I squeezed it both in, and I tried turning them both at once. And after the third time, it finally caught. So I'm gonna put in the third bolt, but for now, so you know, the torque spec for these bolts is 75 to 95 inch-pounds. So I'm gonna go right in the middle and go with 85. So remember, inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. Do not break this. You're going right into the block. Inch-pounds, okay? And after that, basically, just close the bottom of the radiator, obviously, before anything else. And I'm going to show you how to bleed it. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is, I already have everything installed, as you see right there. And I took a regular funnel, and basically I added some electrical tape here on the neck so it can fit, stay snug. And if you have a factory Z and you haven't changed this part yet, it means it just hasn't broken. So this is the bleeder valve for the system. It's located on the passenger side in the rear, right here. I upgraded mine to the Z1 billet one, which you see right there, because mine literally cracked in half. So that's a good investment. And yeah, that thing blew up, so that's not a good thing. So I'm gonna change. So you unscrew the bleeder valve, which is the top one in the black one that you have, or this one. And as you fill that, it's gonna bleed through here. And we're gonna go ahead and fill everything up. Make sure that the bottom of the radiator has the cap and all the hoses are connected. Don't blame me if you forgot something. Make sure all the hoses are connected in their respective areas. Yeah, so let's start filling this guy up. Sorry about this, but it got a little bit messy with my setup here, because this guy overfilled a bit, and then I had to clean everything. But I'm gonna basically go a little bit through with you how to do it. So that's the old fluid. So essentially, once I get everything torqued down, I put some, well, you saw it, I put some electrical tape at the bottom of that, put this guy in here, bled it through the back, and turn on the car, and well, I don't think I have to show you, but I put it on heater and put it on full blast, and basically just rev the engine for a little bit, about 3,500 RPMs, and held it there, turned off the car, opened up that valve in the back, bled it, made sure this guy had plenty of water so all the bubbles came out. I also squeezed this guy and this guy over here and get all the bubbles out. So I'm pretty sure this guy's bled. I'm gonna go and take a drive just to make sure it's not overheating or anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go put the bottom pan on. I'm sure I don't have to tell you how to do that. But yeah, so that's pretty much how you can do that on the cheap end. If you want, you can actually buy a bleeder kit, which is like $30 or $20 or whatever, which sits on top and has a valve and it's all fancy, but I'm cheap, so I use that. So yep, that's it, guys. Enjoy your new fluid. Oh, also, by the way, make sure that when you buy the fluid, it says it's for Nissan right there. It's blue. You can either get the regular Nissan liquid, or you can get something like this. I just got this because it was cheaper. It was like about $8 or $9 at Walmart. The important thing is where is it? Oh yeah, this part right here, silicate and borate free. That's super important for our cars, so make sure that you get that. But yeah, this works. And then for the water, because obviously that's not enough, I got some bottles of distilled water. Don't use regular water. This is $1 at a store. I got probably a little bit extra that I needed, but it's always good to have distilled water. But yeah, I basically filled it with about 2 of these jugs. I'm sure that's gonna still need a little bit more, but I'll get there as it goes. So again, guys, thank you again for watching. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the next one.